Postscript. Today we have a guest by the name of Mackinley Steinhoff, one of Thunder Bay's premier magicians. This young man is unbelievable, in my eyes anyways, but in most people's eyes. I know that he turns some heads. How are you today, Mackinley?
I'm doing real well, yeah.
Your show is called, or your act is called Mackinley's Delusions. Why Mackinley's Delusions?
That's right. So it's for two reasons. One is sort of kind of wanted to separate myself from the classic magician illusion kind of thing, because I do a lot of magic that revolves around, see, like an illusion exists in reality and it deceives your senses, right? You know what I mean? Whereas a delusion exists in the realm of thought, and it's all about the mind, it's all in the mind, and that's where I aim to have my magic take place, is within someone's mind. And it's also a shout out to, I actually went through some pretty serious mental health struggles in the past, through most of my 20s and stuff, and so it's, I like to raise awareness about mental illness, mental health issues, reduce stigma, do things like that with my magic as a vehicle, and it just kind of reminds me of where I came from, and yeah.
Speaking of where you came from, how long have you been doing this?
It's been a while. Been interested in it for like 28 years. Started originally when I was 5 years old, and yeah, I just got a few books out of the library. I have no idea what inspired me to do it. I just kind of wanted to learn magic. So
that was my next question. Why? It just happened?
I just was intrigued by magic. I don't know why. And after I learned a few things out of those books that I got from the library at 5, I drifted away from it for a while, but I got back into it really seriously around 17, and at that point it was like borderline obsession.
Magic seems to do that. Coming from that kind of a background, yes, once you start getting into it, and it just seems to, it just takes over, and you want more. You want the knowledge, and you want to the performing part of it is one aspect of the whole thing. One of the important aspects of magic, I know that you feel, is the psychology of magic. Mm-hmm. Is there any other aspect of magic that you think is important? We can touch on the psychology of it if you'd like.
Yeah, well, just understanding humans, understanding people, understanding how people think, because magic is all, it's based around deceiving people, right? That's the essence of what creates a magical feeling in someone's mind. And if you don't understand how human brains work, like the mind works, then you can't deceive it. You have to really grasp that. And the other thing that's really important about magic, which creates this kind of unique, strange kind of thing you have to overcome within magic, is like any art form, you want to express yourself, right? You want to express who you are and what you believe, and let the audience kind of let your participants understand a little bit about who you are and what you stand for and what you do. But magic is a very difficult vehicle to express yourself authentically, because it's so based around deception, and it's so based around misleading people, that it's like, how do you honestly express yourself while you're deceiving people? It's something I've been kind of struggling with for a long time. And
it's interesting you say that. There was a magician by the name of Andrews that this man could not lie. And he struggled and he was very good at what he did. He struggled his entire career on performing without lying. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you as a magician lie, but I mean, there's some deception, like you said. You have to mislead people, and say he wouldn't do that. So his magic was very interesting. So, yeah.
I've heard that as a philosophy about magic, is to not lie to people, not but I think the very inherent nature of magic is that you are lying to people. It's just that you're like openly lying to people, like people know they're being lied to. So it's kind of renders it almost honest in a way. Like I've actually heard it said before that magicians are the only, that a magician is one of the only honest professions, because it's like, I'm going to trick you, I'm going to lie to you, and you do, you know? And how can you, there's no cheating at magic. There's no, because the whole premise of it is that you're cheating people, you're messing with their heads and stuff. Right?
Your magic, knowing you for a few years now and watching you develop as a magician, you're very organic. You're very, as a matter of fact, it's not a prop. It's not, I'm going to make the color of this cup change. It's very organic. It's day-to-day things. You don't need big props or fancy things. You can deal with it, and I think people relate to that because you're at a level with them that you're not making them feel like you're above them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I want people to leave feeling like I want people to get the sense during my show that it wasn't really a show. It was just a bunch of weird things that happened as a part of their life. Like that's what I strive for, is like this like magic being sort of an intrusion into someone's life, and it's like becomes part of their life for that brief moment that we're together. Whereas a lot of magicians tend to take the approach of, you know, quirky lines and one-liners and making it a show. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just personally, I find it most rewarding to have it, like you said, an organic kind of conversational feel to the magic, and like it's just naturally happening without me really doing anything to cause the magic to happen. And it's more about, my magic is more about people than it is about the things and the props, right?
Yeah, so walking into a situation, walking into someone's home, and there's a bunch of people there, and then just things start to happen, as opposed to, hey, do you want to watch me do a trick? And then you've got all these poses and stuff. Well, that's not you. It's more organic, more flowing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Using everyday props and stuff, which I like too.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up old school, so the magic I did was prop based and pose based and applause cues and the whole thing. So when we perform, that's the way we were taught to perform.
Right.
And all the old books, that's the way they said to do it. Speaking of books, magic is quite the art. I always say that to kids. We used to teach kids magic in Thunder Bay, and I would say, if you want your child to start reading, introduce them to magic, because you just want to do it.
Yeah.
And I know you read extensively when it comes to the art.
Yeah, I read a fair bit. I love learning a trick from a book much more than from watching a video of another magician do a trick or something, because I mean, it's like, it's the same as the classic, like just in life, you know, reading forces you to imagine, right?
Yes.
And whereas if you watch a movie or whatever, it spells out everything for you essentially, and you don't think much. You don't
use the imagination.
Yeah, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. The flip side is like a lot of things humans we learn by seeing, right? Using like mirror neurons are wired into us, and we learn by seeing somebody do something. Like that is how, you know, monkey see, monkey do, right? That's how we're engineered to learn most effectively. So it's like learning from a book it's more of a challenge, but it forces you to think and solve more problems than I think if you were to just watch someone do something, right?
Yeah,
It forces you to put more of yourself into it.
Right. I had the fortune to meet Len Vintis. I don't know if you know who Len Vintis is. Len Vintis held membership number 1 for the International Brotherhood of Magicians. And he was from Winnipeg. And I got to meet Len Vintis when I lived in Winnipeg and performed in Winnipeg. And I used to make a lot of my own props.
Okay.
And the reason why I brought this up is because Len said to me, "You're doing it right. You're making your props, you're seeing them, you're feeling them, as opposed to walking in a store and buying them."
Right.
And he said, and reading a book's the same way. the imagination, the whole thing. You understand it more, I think. So yeah, hands-on is a lot better than just watching someone do it, for sure.
Definitely. I think it also depends on the person's, like, whoever's learning, their personal learning style and stuff. Like, personally, I've always liked learning from books. Like, I've always loved books, not just with magic, but just in general. So it just is the logical progression for me.
There's a lot of people that can't do that.
I know, yeah, that's what I mean.
They need to be instructed physically or shown how something is done. Not everyone can read books.
Yeah.
But if you can, like, I agree with you 100%, the imagination factor just through the roof, right?
Yeah. I also find I mean, being forced to use your imagination, the more you put into anything, no matter what you're doing, the more you're going to get out of it, the more reward you're going to feel achieving it or whatever, right? The more effort it takes, the better it's going to turn out. And I find that, like, with a book, being forced to use your imagination and being forced to make that routine fit myself, it forces me to just put more effort into it, as opposed to just copying what this magician did.
And you do a very good job of making things your own, which is very important. You need your own identity. That's another thing that magicians do, is they watch all the magicians and they want to be just like this guy or that guy, so they have no self-identity. You do have self-identity. You have identity, which is good. That's very good as a performer.
Many people not even in magic recognize that about magicians. It's like, I've heard stories of, like, you know, oh no, I don't think we're going to get a magician. We had a magician a couple of years ago and I don't think we're going to do that again. And it's like, no, we had a band last year. I don't think we're going to do music this year. You know, that band wasn't good, so we're not going to do music this year.
Paint everyone with the same brush.
You know, it's like this weird. But with magicians, it's a very true thing.
Yes,
like, so many magicians don't have a unique style, don't have a unique approach.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. So that's good that you have that. Where do you? I'm not going to ask you where you think you're going to be going in the future, because that's too, because this could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's too much of a. But is there anything in the immediate future that you see yourself doing?
Well, I want to do as much here around Thunder Bay as I can. I want to pursue as much. I love the close-up shows, like the close-up mingling magic. So I aim to do a lot of those, where I love, like, corporate functions and stuff like that, where it's like there's a cocktail hour and I'm just mingling around, showing
boardroom magic.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And but I feel like I love doing that, and I definitely want to continue with that. But I think my focus is going to become transitioning more to learning more about the stage magic and the larger scale. Playing to a bigger audience and stuff. I think that's a skill that I need to develop more. And, like, I've done a lot of stage shows, but I've done a lot more close-up. So I really want my direction to start going in the realm of stage. And I'd like to put a tour together over the next couple of years. That's a big goal of mine. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? I mean, it's like I could map everything out, and then one thing happens, and it just, like, you have to go with the flow.
But I think, like I said, using the word organic again, you're so organic. I think you just need to let it take you where it's going to take you, and I think that's what you have to do. And I think, influences. Do you have any major influences when it comes to magic, or you have a lot, or you take a bit from here, a bit from there?
I mean, I feel like I constantly bounce from one influence to another, right? From it's like David Blaine was my first one. So he's someone who most people watching this would know. A lot of my other influences were people who most watching this video wouldn't know. But the thing about David Blaine is, you've mentioned the organic feel of my magic. That's where that comes from, right? And that's, you were mentioning that you grew up learning from magicians, from older magicians. And David Blaine changed magic in the sense of, like, there is no fluff, there is no hype, there is no anything. He just stops someone on the street and shows them something that blows their mind.
First time I seen David Blaine, I didn't know how to take him because of the way I grew up in the industry. I didn't know, and then I realized actually the video that did it for me with him was he was sitting in Harrison Ford's kitchen. I don't know if you know the one about the card was chosen and then Harrison Ford picked an orange and pulled the orange apart and there's his chosen card, signed chosen card in the orange, and it was just, again, very organic, very just in this guy's kitchen. Boom.
It was in Harrison Ford's kitchen with Harrison Ford's orange. And like, that's so, you know, I don't even think David Blaine asked for an orange in that trick. I think he just said to Harrison Ford, he's like, do you have a piece of fruit around? And like, how...
Yeah, it was very, I know, it blew me away. And that made me understand him because up to that point I was, again, because of the way I grew up in magic, it didn't, a lot of his stuff to me was,
he was different.
Very different.
He was very different. Like, to be honest, I wasn't super familiar with the magic industry before I started watching David Blaine. But yeah, like now that I read older books and read and watch video of, you know, kind of more classic kind of magicians, I see how different David Blaine was and how much he changed the art, and it's cool to have that progression happening, right? Like,
Canadian magicians are very respected in the world.
I mean, probably the most influential magician ever, Dai Vernon, was Canadian. He revolutionized magic even more than Blaine has. Like he took that, I mean, that notion of naturalness, right? That notion of like, you know, if you're not doing anything that's out of the ordinary, people don't suspect it, right? And he changed magic. I mean, before him, the poses and crazy gestures were even more extreme than, you know, what you were talking about, right?
Yes,
they were extremely exaggerated movements just to hide actions and stuff, right? But Vernon,
Quick story about Vernon. Vernon was from Ottawa, I think, originally. And Vernon decided he had enough with magic, and he got a job. And he broke an arm. And that was the last time he ever worked. He said, screw this, I'm going back to magic. And of course, they called him the professor for a reason. He did revolutionize magic, all sorts of magic. So, well, Mackinley, I know we could probably sit here and talk all day and all night because there's so much that we could talk about. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And it's always a pleasure talking with you. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to watch one of your promos.
Yeah, we got a little video that Westport Productions put together for me a while ago. So
A Night of Magical Delusions.
Yeah, this is an event that's coming up soon, and
So that's coming up?
Yeah, it's on May 19th, and it's in support of Kelly Mental Health, which is an agency that it's a nonprofit that kind of tries to provide mental health supports for people who may not get them otherwise.
So where is this taking place?
It's taking place at the Chantrell here in Thunder Bay.
Where's the Chantrell?
It's
is that on Cumberland Street?
On Park and Cumberland.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
across from the casino.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful event center. They do a really nice job there, and it's going to be like a gala. I'm going to do a bunch of entertainment. We'll have a raffle. I believe tickets, it's a fundraiser, and I believe tickets are $100 for that.
And is there supper involved? Or is
you get a full meal, full.
So it's like a dinner theater.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's awesome. Not just a show. It's it's a full evening, and it's in support of a great cause. So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again. And
My pleasure.
I heard you're going to do a little bit of magic for us.
I am. We're gonna try a few things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Take care.
Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.
What? What?
Oh, snap.
touch you those last dozen times.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We're gonna try something wild. Try a few things. We're just gonna do a few quick tricks here, but first, can you take that? Do you have a pocket you could put that in or something?
My pants?
Yeah. If you have a pocket, you just toss those in, that in. Perfect. Just hold on to that. What are we gonna do first? Oh, I'm the clumsiest magician you'll ever meet, just so you know. Yeah, I know we're supposed to be all suave and stuff, but not me. I believe, that one? No, not that one. Maybe that one. No, not that one. I think it's going to be, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I think I found your card.
What's that?
I found your card. Yeah, already. You didn't even pick one, and I found it already. It's crazy. What do you want your card to be?
Let's go 7 of 9.
7 of diamonds. Can you come on up here? I haven't touched those cards since I put them down on the table. Just come up to the cards. And can you name a number between 1 and 5?
1 and 5?
Yeah.
3.
Can you pick up the whole deck of cards?
All right.
Yeah. And you wanted the number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Can you deal down to the 3rd card because you wanted the number 3? We'd go with, so just deal them one at a time down to the 3rd card. Don't look at it, just hold on to it. Yeah, and hold on to the 3rd card. Yeah. And what was the card you wanted again?
7 of diamonds.
Yeah, take a look at what that is and show everyone. Beautiful.
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? Just look at it. All right, let's try something else. Can you help me out with one?
Sure.
Is that cool? Yeah. Can you come up here for a moment? We're going to try something. Can you take the cards and can you give them a cut? Just like cut some cards off and and complete. So yeah, exactly, just like that. And can you actually put them behind your back? Do you have pockets, the back pockets in your jeans?
Yeah.
Okay, and they're not like buttoned up, like they're not, okay, perfect. Give them another cut behind your back, okay? I know it's kind of clumsy, try not to drop them, but have you done that?
Yeah.
So you're at a random spot that there's no way you could know or I could know, right? Perfect. Let's just go with the top card here, okay? Just take the top card and put it in either one of your back pockets. Just hide it in one. I won't even look as you do that. I won't try to catch a glimpse of it or anything.
All right.
Is it hidden?
Yeah.
And take the next card, so the new top card, and put it in your other back pocket. So it's hidden in your other pocket, okay? And I won't try to see what it is or anything. Is it hidden?
Yep.
So if I look, I won't. Yeah. We don't need the rest of the cards. It's all.
Okay.
It's all good. So you just took out. It could have been any cards, but took out 2 random cards. We're gonna try something. Do you know what cards you removed?
I don't.
You don't, right? You're not sure what they are, but you took out one hidden in one pocket, took out another hidden in another pocket. I can try to guess the 2 cards that you chose, that you removed. But what's interesting about this trick is you're then going to tell me which card is in which pocket. Okay? So I want you to just trust your instincts. And took out one first, the second one. One card I'm picking up on is the 6 of clubs, and the other is the ace of hearts. But what feels right to you? Which is in which pocket?
I think you said the 6 of clubs.
And the ace of hearts.
I think the ace of hearts is in my right pocket.
That's what you're feeling for some reason?
Yeah.
What feelings guided you to that?
Well, when you asked him earlier what card he had in mind, I was thinking of the 9 of spades.
Okay.
And it's just a black card instead of first, so I figured.
Okay, interesting.
Black
So
card.
you're saying the ace of hearts is in that pocket?
Yeah.
Interesting. Can you take it out and have a look? See if you're correct. Show everyone the ace of hearts in that pocket and should be the 6 of clubs in the other one, like I said. right? Hopefully? Yeah, 6 of clubs. Beautiful. Wow, thanks for helping out with that. That's why.
And the ball.
Beautiful. Okay, we just got time for one more thing. Would you mind helping me out with this? Sure. Can you read this book, please? No, I'm just kidding. We'll wait. We'll wait.
Now.
Yeah, no. We're gonna try some mind reading here, though. You're gonna try to send me a thought. Okay. So can you just tell me when to stop?
Stop.
Right there. Can you just remember this page number?
Yeah.
And can you also remember the first word on the page?
Yeah.
You got it? So you got a number and a word in mind? Perfect. Take the book. We're going to deal with this word first. And I think, I want you to think of one of the letters in your word. Go towards the middle of the word, somewhere around there, and lock that letter into your mind. Have you got one?
Yeah.
That was confusing. No, you didn't intentionally try to confuse me, but you kind of did confuse me because you thought of a letter, then you were like, no, I don't want that letter, I want this letter, and then you were like, actually, I do want that letter, and went back to the original letter, right? And then, yeah, and that threw me off. And it was actually, can you stand up for a moment? Can you come right up here? That'll be better. And so you thought of one, then went for another one, and then went back to the original one, which threw me for a loop.
Okay.
But I believe, is this letter an M?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. Can you just imagine you could see the word up here, the whole word?
Okay.
And imagine you could just imagine where the M is, okay? And oh, I see what's going on. I was thinking like, no, it's not there, it's here, but it's actually in both spots, right? There's 2 M's in the word? Yeah. And this word is, so it's like the 2 M's in the middle, and there's an R at the end?
Yep.
Yeah, and this is in your mind, just in your mind, not out loud, just in your mind, just yell this word to me now. Summer?
Yep.
Summer? Yeah, beautiful. You did awesome there. That was what? You know what? Here's the thing, is like, I create the illusion that I read your mind, right? I can't actually read minds, but the truth of how I accomplished that is kind of even stranger than the idea of mind reading.
Okay.
Because, believe it or not, you actually didn't see the word summer.
Okay.
Yeah, you actually were looking at something else, but I made you think you were looking at summer. On page 114, right?
Yep.
That's the page you thought you saw.
Yep.
Can you open up that book to page 114? Just kind of flip through and find page 114 there. I think you'll find something interesting about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Page 114 is actually torn out of the book. It's not in there. I did that earlier today. I ripped it up and I put it in an envelope. Do you remember that I gave you that envelope in the beginning? Can you take that envelope out?
Yeah. Wait.
Open it up. And there should be something inside of there. You take out what's inside. And is that page 114 with the word summer on it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys so much. So much fun having you. Thanks for helping out with this. And yeah, that's what we got for you. So thanks, guys. Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you.